Hello guys, welcome back to my channel today. Thank you so much for stopping by. In this video, we'll be cutting and sewing this turtle cow neckline blouse. It's also an halter cow neckline top. It is backless and we'll be pairing it with this palazzo pants. So let's jump right into the video. So I'll start by drafting the blouse and I'll start with the front pattern. So the distance from my shoulder to my bust point is 10 inches. The distance from my shoulder to my waist point is 16 inches. Now you're going to determine the length of your blouse. So for now, I'll be making use of 20 inches, which is the length of my pattern paper. I'll indicate the point and I'll rule straight lines across. After doing that, I'm going to take half of my shoulder measurement, which is 7 inches. I'll indicate that with a dot. On that dot, I'm going to go down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope. For the neck width, I'm going to come in by 3 inches. And for the depth, I'll go down by about 2 inches. So you can see that it's an high neckline. Sorry, I went down by 1 inch, not 2 inches. So I'll connect from the neck width to the shoulder slope, and from that point I'll use my curved ruler to connect the neckline like so. After doing that, I'm going to go down from the shoulder slope by 7 inches, which is half of my round armhole circumference. On that point, I'm going to also roll a straight line across. This is going to serve as my chest line, so I'll label my pattern paper chest line, bust line, waistline, and the top length. On the chest line, I'll go in by 7 inches, which is the same measurement I have on the shoulder line, and I'll connect from the shoulder slope straight down. After doing that, I'll find the middle point of this straight line, which is 3.5 inches. I'll indicate that with a dot. On the chest line, I'll place my bust circumference divided by 4. I'll also indicate that, then I'll connect from that point to the midpoint of that straight line, and I'll add 1.5 inches for my stitching allowance. On the waistline, I'll place my waist circumference divided by 4 plus 1.5 inches stitching allowance, and on the blouse length, I'll place my hip circumference divided by 4 plus 1.5 inches stitching allowance. After doing that, I'll connect. Now I'll place my curved ruler from the neck width all the way to the armhole area, because this blouse does not have an armhole area. So see the way I'm connecting it. You've already seen my arms come. If you don't want yours to be too deep, you can come up a bit. It can also be in a slant, okay? Then I went ahead to cut out. On that armhole area, I measured all the way down and then I marked the middle point. Now I indicated the middle point with a dot. From that dot, I will slant to meet the chest line, as you can see me doing. This is because I want to take a dart on this point so the blouse does not gape on the armhole area. So on that line now, I'm going to take half an inch on both sides and I'll connect it back to the midpoint of the chest line, as you can see. Now I'm going to open this up on the upper part just to close up the dart, and I'll use it to cover this area like this. So once you do this, the armhole area of your blouse is not going to gape anymore. What I'll do now is to come down from the neck depth by 1 inch. Now you've seen my outcome. You see how my cow neckline did not really fall. That's because I came down by 1 inch. So you can do 1.5 inches or 2 inches. I connected it. Now we'll be doing the slash and spread method on this neckline area in order to get the cow neckline, cow effect there, okay? So I'm going to place this on the fresh pattern paper and I'm going to spread this now. So I spread mine by 3 inches. I didn't want my cow neckline to fall too much. If it falls too much, it's not going to give me that halter neck. That's why I spread by 3 inches. But if you want yours to fall and have those ruffles there, you can spread more than 3 inches. But for me, I went in to open this pattern paper by 3 inches. After getting what wanted, sorry, I went ahead to pin my pattern paper down, and you can see me tracing the side. So on this side that I'm tracing, please make yours straight, okay? In order for that effect to be more visible, make yours straight. Don't bend it like I did mine. So after doing that, now I'm going to go ahead and cut, okay? So you can see the upper part is straight, the midpoint, which is our center front, is also straight, and the side you make it straight, then you curve on this part that has the armhole area. I hope I'm not confusing you guys. So after doing that, now this is what we have for the front. For the back, all you have to do is to fold in this armhole area and then use it to cut out the back. So the back of this blouse does not have an armhole or anything, okay? So I've gone ahead to use my pattern paper to cut. So you can see my center front. After placing my pattern paper, I still have this excess fabric, so it doesn't matter, okay? So I went ahead to extend my blouse by about, I think, 11 inches. That's because I want my blouse to cover my pants. That is how I want it. If you want yours to be just a normal top, you can stop at 20 inches, 22 inches, depends on the length you want. But remember that your center front has to be on fold. So because I don't want to pipe the armhole area, the neckline or anything, I went ahead to cut out a facing, okay? So this fabric is going to stop after my nipple point, so it's going to cover my nipple, okay? Now you cut out a piece of fabric to insert on this neckline area, okay? Maybe about 4 inches or 5 inches, or measure your neckline area. Or if you want it to be a long rope that you can tie and adjust how you like, you can do it like that. So I'll pin my fabric right side, facing right side, as you can see. Then I'll go ahead and sew the neckline, the armhole, all the way down to where my facing stops, okay? So this is the back. I went ahead to fold in the armhole area and I used it to cut. So I added zipper allowance at the back. My zipper allowance is about 1.5 inches. I also extended my blouse by 11 inches. So I'll open this up. I have two pieces. So I went ahead also to cut out my facing for the back. I'm going to place them right sides facing right sides, and I'll pin. After pinning, I'll go ahead and sew. So the back is not complicated at all. You don't have to take in any darts. You don't even have to add a zipper allowance. I later closed up my zipper allowance. Now let's draft out the pants. So it's a palazzo pant. I want to add a 2 inches band to my pant. So I took out 2 inches before I started placing my measurements. From my waist to my hip is 9 inches. This is an high waist pant. Then from my waist to my crotch is about 14 inches. So I went ahead to mark 14 inches from that point. So I'll indicate the 14 inches with a dot. After doing that, I'll still take out the 2 inches. I'll mark the 9 inches and the 14 inches. Okay, after doing that, I'm going to roll a straight line across. So there are different ways to get your crotch line or your crotch depth. The video on the screen is how I get mine. So do what works for you. But so what I do is pass my tape through my legs, and I'll place the tape above, a little bit above my belly button, and through the back. Whatever I have, I divide it by two. That's all. So from the crotch line, I'll go down by 4 inches. It's going to be my tie line, okay? So this is perfect for when you want your pant to be fitted, okay? So first line waistline, second line hip line, third line crotch line, and the last line is my tie. So I'm placing my hip circumference divided by 4 on these three lines. That's the waistline, the hip line, and the crotch line, and then I connected into a straight line. Now I'm going to divide what I have on the crotch line into 4, okay? Once I divide that, I have about 2.5 inches. So I like to approximate it to make it 3 inches. So I'll go out by 3 inches for my crotch extension. I went ahead to indicate that with a dot. Now I'm going to use the curved part of my roller to connect from that 3 inches to the hip line, or from the hip line to the 3 inches, as you can see. So we have our crotch extension line. Now you're going to determine how fitted you want your pant to be on the thigh area. So you can divide your thigh by 2, and that is all. But I want this pant to be free. So whatever I have on the crotch extension line, from the crotch to the extension line, is the same thing that I placed there. Now for the waist area, I'm placing my tape from the other side to this side now. I'm placing my waist circumference divided by 4. Okay, I indicated that. Now I'll use the curved part of my roller to connect from that point to the hip point. Doing this is going to give your pant fitting. Now on the base of the pattern paper, which is my pant length, I'll place the same thing, basically the same thing that I have on the tie line, so that I can connect straight down. This is because I'm sewing a palazzo pant. If your pant is not a palazzo pant, you have to mark your knee line. Then you measure and place your measurement divided by 2. Okay, that's going to give you a fitted pant. But this is a palazzo pant. There is no darts and it's not that complicated. Okay, so to cut out the back, I went ahead to fold my fabric into two, making sure the fabric is wider than the pattern paper on the side, on the crotch area, and on the waist area. Now I went ahead to extend my crotch extension now for the back by another 3 inches. I did that because I extended by 3 inches at the front, so I normally do the same thing for the back. Now for the butt area, I went out by 2 inches. So you can see me connecting from the crotch extension line to the 2 inches. So we are basically extending the back fabric for the back, okay, because our butt is at the back and we need room for our butt to sit, okay. So for the leg of the pants, I'm also extending by 2 inches. So I am extending the back fabric by 2 inches. That's what I'm doing. So on this waist area, I went up by 1.5 inches so the pants can also cover our butt. It can accommodate it on the upper area. So I went up by 1.5 inches. Now I'll start from that 1.5 inches to the other side of the waist, as you can see me doing in a slant, okay. Now I'm adding my stitching allowance of 1 inch. Remember, I didn't add stitching allowance to the pattern paper, so I am extending the waist area all the way to the end of this pant by 1 inch, okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut, so please pay close attention so you know where to cut. Now that I'm done cutting, I'll pin the crotch area and I'll go ahead and sew using my stitching allowance. I'll also do the same thing for the front. I went ahead to fold my fabric into two and I placed my front pattern paper. So I'll add 1 inch to this crotch area for joining the crotch together, and on the hip area also I'll add 1 inch to join the side, okay, the waist, the hip, all the way down, okay. This 1 inch is going to be my stitching allowance, okay. So after doing that, now I'll go ahead and cut. I'm done cutting. I'll pin my crotch area for the front and I'll also go ahead and sew with the 1 inch that I added. So for the back, you'll be sewing with your zipper allowance of 1.5 inches. Use a gather stitch first because we are going to fix our zipper to the back. So this is my blouse. I've gone ahead to sew both facing and the main fabric together. So this is the fabric I added to the neckline area. It's about 4 inch. So we are going to pass it to the back and you add your hook and eye, or you do a button hole there and you fix your button, whatever works for you. So I decided to close up my zipper allowance because I didn't want a zipper anymore. I wanted to add a rope to the side so I can snatch my waist area. So I joined the zipper allowance in place and then I sewed my facing, okay. So now I'm going to place both front and back together and I'll sew the sides using my zipper allowance. So I also use the opportunity to insert my rope to the side. I'm going to try to sew my trouser, the crotch area, the sides, and this is what I have. Remember I said you should use a gather stitch for the zipper area. That's what I did. So I'm going to loosen it up in order to measure around the waist area of my pants, okay. After losing it, measure what you have there. What you have there is what you use to cut out your band, okay. So I went ahead to measure and I used it to cut my band. So the length of the band is what I measured on the waist area, while the width of the band is about 2.5 inches. Remember I took out 2 inches before I started placing my measurement. That's what I want to replace, but it is 2.5 inches right now because I want to use the half of an inch now to join both the band and the pants together. I hope you understand. So that is my joining allowance, okay. Once you open it up, it is 5 inches. I went ahead to iron my stay to it, so it's the fabric will have strength because I'm using a duchess fabric. So now I'm going to place them as you can see me doing, and I'll sew from this end to the other end. Okay, after doing that, I'll conceal the waist area just by weaving the waist area. Now I've sewn the band in place. This is what I have. Next thing I'll do is to fit my zipper to the back of the pants. Okay, I'll be using this invisible zipper. So once you fix your zipper, next thing you do is to finish up the ends of your pants. You can fold it, you can use your hemming gum to hold it down, whatever works for you. Okay, so that is all for the pants. This is my blouse. I've gone ahead to sew the sides. I also went ahead to add a rope to the waist area, so it's easy for me to just tie the rope and to give me that snatched effect. So for the base of your blouse, you can do anything you want. Yours might not be as long as mine, but I decided to leave mine like this. I wanted to slant it before, but I'm going to leave it like this. Okay, so I'll just hem the base of my blouse and I'll give the blouse a good press. For the neckline area, I'm going to fix hook and eye there. So I'll just hook it at the back of my neck. And yeah, that is all for this tutorial. I hope it was helpful. Don't forget to like this video. Leave your questions in the comment section. I'll see you in the next one.